Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello, viewers, and welcome to Ed-talks. This is the second on our series where we speak to Edtech beginners. Today, we're speaking to Kounal Gupta, who's the founder and CEO of Henry Harvin Education. Besides being an Edtech entrepreneur, he's also a columnist and an author. He loves creating content, and Kunal also told us in the course of the interview that as a child, he wanted to become an entrepreneur. He likes to connect the dots between ancient Indian history, data, and the future. He's got some amazing plans for creating programs for the elderly, for senior citizens, for women, for children. Let's listen to his story.
See, I used to study during my board exam as if I have these 5 companies and I am running a group of companies. These 5 companies means what? SST, English, Hindi, Maths,
Okay.
and Science. Yeah.
Okay.
So I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. That has been my childhood dream. Even I remember me and my brother also used to talk about shares while we were kids. That okay, my company X, his company Y. Let's give us each other these many shares for the other person to get the work done. So if in case
Okay.
I think entrepreneurship was something which always was a dream passion for me. So I was in DPS Vasanskund, and then I graduated for Delhi College of Engineering. I had cleared my entrance exam, wherein DTU as it's now called, so Delhi Technological University, and then I did an online MBA from Narsi Munji. So that has
Oh,
been my education. Along with that, I have been also doing a lot of certification courses myself to improve my skills. So yeah, I was a science student. Surprisingly, I was never supposed to be one, and then I accidentally took engineering, that to industrial engineering. So that itself
oh no.
has a great
Okay.
story behind it. I started this business when I was in third year of college in engineering
Oh, okay.
itself,
Okay.
and MBA I did along with my business only while the business was going on. Started in third year in 2013 to learn those business skills, which maybe the bookish knowledge also gives, right? Or maybe I would say that methodological way of learning through an MBA gives. So that really helped me because at night I used to study and in the morning I used to implement, and this went on for 2 years. Because honestly, in school I used to be a geek, so so yeah, teaching used to be a daily or maybe a regular part of my daily schedule.
Okay.
While at tuition or maybe at school, not too much, but yes, I would say slightly. I used to give teaching, and it used to excite me, this profession, and that I never knew that this passion would eventually turn into a profession someday. It's kind of a very competitive market now, EdTech. So we started in 2013 while EdTech was at a very novice stage. In fact, the
Hmm.
word EdTech was not that much popular. People used to call it online, maybe not even online education, but maybe more of a trainings industry,
Right.
or we. So that was the popular term. EdTech was a very recent term. So in those days, it wasn't very competitive, but gradually, as and when more and more players keep on coming in, that competitive factors have to be added. And we are kind of very proud to say that the kind of competitiveness which we have is kind of unique and very much apart from what our peers are currently having. So we offer a bouquet of 10 in 1 program, in which training is just one deliverable out of those 10 in 1 deliverables that we are giving, right? So we have around, I think, around 5, 6 factors for competency development, and remaining 5, 6 deliverables in those 10 in 1 is in competency development, and remainings in career development. So we are helping both in competency development and career development. Uh, and those 10 in 1 deliverables that we are giving set us quite uniquely aside to a lot of competitors. And even the free trainings, free courses industry also, and courses which are also out there worth only 300, 400 rupees, even while we are competing with Udemy's of the world. So the kind of deliverables that we have makes us unique and much aside our competitors. Especially the rural market that we were talking about, the one major reason what prevents the non-Hindi rural to penetrate is the language barrier for us. Because some courses we deliver in Hindi as well, but some who are like kind of very much clear that I want in my local language, that market can only be tapped if the content is in vernacular languages, and the delivery of the content, the teachers are also from a vernacularly homogeneous background. The focus is now on majorly result orientation instead of just the deliverable, because the initial fancy days of doing online education is now over. Like people are over it that online education is new to. They are new to online education. Online education has become the new normal now, right? So now companies have started looking at result oriented deliverables to compete now. Now that is something which is now becoming more focused. The way you used to see the coaching institutes, they're competing next doors physically next to each other, the kind of tough competition which they may be having. Similarly, in the online education also, slowly those uh, uh, those strategies of differentiating from competitors are now getting implemented in the online education sector also. So we just have to keep our eyes open all the time, right?
Okay.
So is that we have to be very much sensitive to what our customers are seeing, right? So every review which a customer is giving, every feedback which a customer is taking, we have to be very much vigilant to that. Number one. Number two, we have to constantly see what new is happening out there in the market. Number three, we have to constantly seek ideas from what other industries are also doing, right? So those
Right.
points we also have to see what other industries are doing,
Right.
which we can also implement in our industry. Maybe not
Right.
exactly the same, not possible, maybe something similar. So I would say
Right.
just keep your eyes open. Robotics, as it
Okay.
used to be a very small thing earlier, is now way
Right.
bigger, right? So what
Okay.
talking of robotics, even robotics is also uh, we also have online robotics in the form of RPA. Right? Some players have been using as a marketing tool. Ask them what is their application of AI ML. You would not be able to see a justifiable application of it. They are just using it just for the sake of luring or fooling people that okay, we are using AI ML. But when you get into depth of it, that for what purpose are you using AI ML?
They will
In
not.
a lot of cases, I would say you will end up laughing that okay, this is not a very apt application of AI ML. So as long as technology is used uh, uh, to solve problems of the users, whether that user is your employee or your customer, then it's good enough. Then you use marketing as a communication medium. Then you use marketing to communicate your technology application and gain use of it. Now talking
Okay.
about technology, then maybe robotics very much apt. AI ML is apt. Blockchain is also apt. We have uh, different technologies coming out there. Maybe deep learning, maybe different other technology. So it's all about application of it. I would not. It's way too big for me to comment upon in a very short time. I can comment on Henry Harvin, right? So we have a very good work culture. We have a very good retention rate also, and that's kind of because of the culture that we have created for our employees, kind of referrals that we keep on receiving from our employees for new joinings. So I would say in our company at Henry Harvin Education, we have a very good work culture, not just in terms of employee benefits, but also employee earnings, and also about the kind of learning environment that we have created for each and every employee to learn and grow. Regular learning requirements that deliverables that we give, kind of cultural activities, team building activities which we keep on doing, the kind of celebration which we keep on doing. I would totally deny to the fact that we can say that the entire edtech industry is having a strenuous work culture. It depends from company to company. I'm very proud to that Henry Harvin we have a very good work culture. And I'm not saying that my employees are the same.